Hi, our group is Smooth, and our goal was to create a high quality computer that would target the workhorse and the traveler, um, that would also not break the bank. And we were able to do that by creating our two computers, the first being Dolomite, a desktop computer, and the second being Butta, being a laptop computer. Dolomite was created in order to target the workforce segment, and Butta was created in order to target the traveler. Throughout this process, we made a whole lot of changes towards our marketing strategy. We originally just planned on targeting the workforce segment due to the fact that they have the largest market. However, we decided to change that strategy and begin targeting the traveler as well. As of right now, we have not received the results for quarter five yet, so I am unable to say what the ending result was. However, in quarter four, we had successfully become second place amongst our competitors, and we were making changes in order to hopefully boost ourselves up to first place in the future. We decided to make changes to our advertising. That was one of the big issues that we had throughout this project. We also decided to make changes to the Butta computer itself. It was not targeting the traveler adequately, so we made a lot of improvements to that in order to hopefully target the traveler better in the future. And so, hopefully, going into our final presentation, I will be able to have a little bit more information about our bottom line on top and where we ended up and how our strategy got us there. Thank you.
Thanks, Shiloh. In order to fully understand how we got to where we are now in quarters 4 and 5, we have to first go over some of our early decisions that shaped our company into what it is now. First off, we decided to create a workhorse computer because it was less risky than the Mercedes segment due to its low cost. It cost a lot to design, manufacture, advertise, and ultimately produce Mercedes computers, and we didn't feel the market was as attractive with those as it is with workhorse computers. It was the largest segment of the three, also, making the demand highly attractive to us. We wanted something that could sell and make us a lot of money, not something that would definitely sell, but sell in lesser numbers. And then to sell our items, we decided to open offices in Shanghai and Sao Paulo. Shanghai we chose to open because the market for all computers, but particularly workhorse computers, was very good. Also, it didn't cost a whole heck of a lot to open up, and it didn't cost a lot to keep open, unlike the Paris and Chicago offices, which were significantly more expensive. We also chose Sao Paulo due to the large market segment in for workhorses, and because there was no other businesses open that sold workhorses in Sao Paulo. And then ultimately, we added $340,000 to our certificate of deposit to ensure that we had a strong financial foothold and a strong cash basis to move forward with. We didn't want a situation where we needed to open up 25 or 50 new units of production capacity and not have the cash for it. So we felt that investing in our future was smart and worth it to ensure that we had financial flexibility and ultimately could score better on the game. Now, we're going to talk here about quarter 3. Or, I'm sorry, quarter 2.
So after quarter 1, we ended up modifying our workhorse computer from a desktop to a laptop, and we ended up adding the traveler computer to our line of products. And we did this because having more than one product is the best and most efficient way of making profit usually. So we ended up doing that. And we decided to close our office in Sao Paulo because we realized that after adding the traveler computer that Sao Paulo actually had the lowest market potential for traveler computer, and that's like not enticing when we're trying to make profit off a computer. So we closed that down and reopened in Chicago because Chicago had the highest market potential for traveler computers. And it also was third for Workhorse, so it kind of balanced both of our products. And then we kept Shanghai just because Shanghai also had a high market potential. So we did that, and then we ended up pricing both of the computers pretty low. And the reason for this is because on consumer needs, they actually rated low price as being one of their top priorities for Workhorse, but also for Traveler. So we ended up pricing both of those computers pretty low, probably too low. But so we withdrew $288,455 from our cash deposit in order to kind of fund and invest in this second product, which would be the Traveler computer. But after doing all this, we realized we made some pretty big mistakes, and we learned some pretty big lessons from quarter 2, which Cheyenne will talk about next.
Thank you, Julia. So upon getting our results for quarter 2, we were able to see where we had some strengths and some weaknesses. We were number 2 in comparison to our competitors, which we felt was a really good position because it definitely gave us room to improve. Based on our numbers, we had a lot of places we could go, but we also weren't in dead last. We had a large portion of the market in both Workhorse and Travelers, which we felt put us in a really good competitive position. As far as what we learned after getting these results, first and most importantly, we had a huge stock out because our pricing was way too low. We had 100% satisfaction in pricing as well, which we learned was not ideal in an industry, and we should be aiming for about 94 to 95% satisfaction with our pricing based on where our most competitors landed in that category. The stock out also harmed our brand image. So we really wanted to improve our pricing strategy and device to win back the customers we lost because of our stock out. Our market effectiveness was at a minimum, which was one of the most important issues we wanted to fix right off the bat. We decided to change our marketing strategy by improving the structure of our advertisements, which we're not doing as very well in comparison to our competitors. And we only wanted to offer brand features that almost exactly reflected our customer needs rather than adding small bonus features that we felt would draw more people in. We realized that customers want what they want, and so we wanted to take what we learned in quarter 1 about the customer needs and almost exactly replicate them and also compare them to what our competitors were doing and how they were successful in that. By changing our computers to offer what we felt would best reflect their needs, we aimed to increase our overall brand perception, which our score was kind of low as well for that. And we also learned it might be better to do business in multiple market segments with multiple different brands to increase our brand awareness and increase our chances of overall success. So kind of the approach we took to fixing all of these problems that we saw after we got our quarter 1 and 2 results was we wanted to see what the other competitors were doing. So we started comparing our computers and our pricing, our advertisements, everything that we had done for the last two quarters, and compared them to our competitors, and most of all tried to match what they were doing, but then do small improvements that we felt would project our brand past them. So now I'm going to hand it off to Joda, who's going to talk about what the decisions we made in quarter 3 after we learned all these lessons.
Thank you, Shai. So to address our stockout issue, rather than simply producing more units at the same price, we increased the price to decrease the demand. 100% of the original markets were happy with our price, and we wanted to decrease that number to about 94 to 95% to make sure we're not underpricing our products. We planned for our new store opening in Chicago by increasing fixed capacity slightly to account for stockouts, but we avoided making dramatic changes to our capacity because we also increased the prices of our products, which decreases the demand. The idea here was to account for uncertainty and avoid future stockouts. We also added salespeople in Chicago to help increase brand awareness with our target markets. Some of the changes in our designs were based a lot on our competitors and their success that they found in their markets. We found that both brands had feature offerings that were very similar to other competitive brands, but we found that there were some in particular that made sense to add. For instance, for our workhorse target segment, our brand Dolomite performed relatively well overall, but we found that our competitor WorkTech had better performance. We looked at their feature offerings and we decided that it would be a good idea to add standard networking to the Dolomite brand. In targeting the traveler market segment, we noticed that two brands scored better than us in that segment. So we looked at their feature offerings and noticed that they were offering less than us and charging more. This revealed to us that we could gain differentiation by offering nearly all the same features we offered before at a price that is still competitive in the market. Thank you.
Thank you, Joda. So in reviewing our quarter 3 results, we found even more lessons that we were able to learn. We found that our financial performance was significantly higher. This was likely due to the price increase and success in both of our 2 markets, which were Workhorse and Traveler. Our market effectiveness did increase, but we were still near the bottom in comparison to our competitors. So this was, again, something we really wanted to focus our energy on improving, because we feel like this leads into a lot more success. I think market effectiveness is a huge indicator for your brand and how successful you'll be in the long term, and so that's a number we really wanted to pull up. We, again, restructured our ads and realized they were just kind of too cluttered, and they were not being as effective as our competitors were. So we took a look at how many things they included in their ads, what kinds of things, and in what order they put on their ads. So we took our number of items on it down from 9 to only 5, which was very similar to where our competitors were. So there was less clutter on the ads. I think they were more straightforward, and they were targeting exactly what our customers wanted to know about our computer. Our market share dropped pretty significantly in the travelers section, and we found that our travel computer just was not meeting the needs of our market segments. So we changed some aspects of our computer to better suit the traveler section. Getting this feedback in after quarter 3 was much more helpful than the first round, because due to our large stock out, it kind of skewed a lot of our numbers. We were unable to measure some of like the smaller details, such as how effective our human resource management was. We weren't really able to know, because they were selling 200 computers when we ballparked that they'd be selling 110, but that was probably because our price was so low. So we were kind of unable to accurately estimate those kinds of things. So this feedback that we got was much more accurate and helpful in that way. Because we couldn't very accurately measure how many people we should have in the workforce and things like that, we also couldn't really measure very effectively how much like fixed capacity we should have, how many computers we would be on average selling at each location. A lot of those numbers were skewed because our prices were so low and we ran out of inventory. So anyways, these results were very helpful and helped us to improve for quarter 4. So now I'm going to pass it on to Joe, who's going to talk about a little bit of what we chose to do in quarter 4 after getting these results.
At this point in time, we cannot provide lessons learned from quarter 4, given the fact the marketplace simulation has not released the results. Our team hopes to remain in one of the top 2 positions when compared to our competition. We have continually strived to find a way to more effectively compete in the market, whether it was improvements to our advertisements or adjusting our brand to better meet customer needs. We took initiative to improve our brand and generate more revenue for the company. Looking into quarter 5, we believe our company provides strong financial statements that support your decision to pick our company moving forward. We obtain large market shares for our brand in multiple regions of the world and have the capacity and demand to explore other regions. Our team goal is to continually provide positive results moving forward, and we hope our past performance proves our dedication to you. Thank you.